Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Cash, and this is Weekly Recap. Weekly Recap is me, an owner-operator in America, leased onto a carrier, 80-20 split, going over my numbers, why I did what I did for the week, why I do what I do, how I did it, what loads I did, how it all worked out. These numbers are not to brag. They are not to complain. They're just numbers. Don't let it get in your feelings. What else we got? That's pretty much it. I don't talk about the carrier I'm leased on to. And you can ask a million times. I'm just not going to talk about it. It does nothing for me. So that's what it is. Now let's get into this week. This is a pretty standard week for me here lately. This has become my new normal, basically. Minnesota to Georgia. That's what I do. That's what I do. 36 empty miles, 1157 loaded miles, 1193 total miles, 0 degrees, 43,000 pounds. She's a heavy girl, let me tell you. And that load pays $3,000. Been doing a lot of these. They're consistent. I can get them pretty much every day of the week except for I don't think they load on the weekend. I think it's a weekday thing. But honestly, I haven't tried one on the weekend, so I don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they ain't, but I haven't tried it, so it is what it is. Like that load, it's quick, it's efficient. It literally loads. Typically, it loads in the afternoon, and then you've got to run a full shift when you pick it up. You got to run the 1157. You need about half of that, really. So, if the way I look at this load, it's a 1,200-mile load. So, I get the 36 empty miles and the 1157 for a total of 1193 on the miles. That's why I count it as 1,200. I try to get 600 the first day and then 600 the next day because that's what you got to do. Because typically, the way this works, they're so tightly scheduled, is you pick up the load in the afternoon, you run it all night until the next morning, you sleep all day that day, and then you get up the next afternoon, run it in, and deliver it the next morning. So it's kind of 2 overnights, and then you're done. Typically, it's less than 48 hours. Normally, they're around 40 hours. So it's a nice tight run, and it doesn't pay extreme, but with such a tight run that I've got another good tight run that comes right back to Minnesota. And that load is Georgia to Minnesota. That's what I do on my backhaul most of the time. And that load is 14 empty miles and 1154 loaded miles. And that is 1168. And it is basically the same way. It loads at night or in the afternoon, and it is 25 degrees. This one here was 29,000 pounds, and those pay $2,400. And basically, this is, I would count it less than a 5-day run. It's like a 4.5-day run to get yourself from Minnesota to Georgia to reload Georgia right back to Minnesota. So that's like a 4.5, 5-day run. And I like those. It's high, it's tight. I can get right back to the house. And then I've got the option to run out, reload. I can go ahead and just grab another one and go back to Georgia and back. And that's, anywhere from 10 to 11 days typically to do 2 of them. Just depends on the reload down in Georgia, what time that comes out. But typically, that's how I like to do it. And 2 of them at a time. And it's good money for me. I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I can live on this. So that's the 2 loads for the week. Out, back, done. Minnesota, Georgia, Georgia to Minnesota. And let's go over the numbers of the week. This is a high and tight week, so expect the numbers to be high and tight. So total gross revenue between me and my carrier combined, we made $5,400 gross. And when I say for a week, this is, I typically break these down into an out and a back as a week, because the way it works is I can go down to Georgia again, and that would add another $3,000 to this week. But then the next week is going to be just that backhaul, and that's it. So I typically just break them down to this. I don't know if I took a day off in between this or not. Sometimes I take a day off or whatever, but this is like a 5-day week, you know. So $5,400. My 80% is 4320. All in miles, 2,361 all miles, 2,311 loaded miles, 50 empty miles. That's 2% deadhead. So when you have revenue for like 5,400 for the week, that's really nice. Only having 2% deadhead, not wasting a lot of time running around doing this, doing that. Just high and tight, get it done, get back home. I, you know, I could do of these runs. I could probably do 5 of these in a month, maybe 6 of these in a month. So, it's not bad. It's not bad at all for me. You know, like I say, when I say something's not that bad, it means my perspective. You know, it might not work for you. But anyway, that's the miles rate per mile. 229 all miles. Every mile the truck turns 229. That is $1.83. My 80%, and that is 234 a loaded mile. So pretty happy with that. I can run that, especially when it's efficient. I like when those backhauls are light, you know, below 30,000 pounds. That helps on the fuel a little bit. But glad to be back in the Peterbilt. Got the Peterbilt back going again. Really happy about that. This truck does better fuel economy at like 70 miles an hour than my Freightliner did. My Freightliner, if you could drop it down to like 62, 63, that thing basically made fuel. Whereas this truck has an overdrive, and I can't really drop it down that low because this truck is set up to run at 65. That's what it's built for. The company it came from, that's what they are governed at, 65. Everything about this truck wants 65. So if I drop it down to 61, I really don't gain fuel economy because every little hill I'm constantly downshifting, revving up. You know, it's better off just to stay at 65. It loses a couple mile an hour going up a hill, but you don't downshift and, you know, high rev. So I run at 65 most of the time, 65, 66. This truck does really good at 70. You really can't tell much of a difference between 65 and 70 on the fuel economy in this truck, just a little bit. But it does not like dropping down speed because of that overdrive. And the direct drive, it's geared too low or too high or whatever. It gets to be too high because it's got 279 rear ends in it, the truck does. And therefore, when it drops down to direct drive, it's too high of a gear, and it really doesn't do good in direct drive unless you go down to like 58, 59 miles an hour. And I'm just not willing to go that slow. Maybe on a desolate road in the middle of the night, if I really had nowhere to be and like I was just on my way home in the middle of the night or something, I might run 58, 59. But uh, the truck gets such good fuel economy at 65. I don't see a reason to do it any other way. I just did a load from Mississippi back to Minnesota. It was 1,263 miles that had to be done in less than 2 days, in 2 shifts, basically. So I ran it at 70 the whole way, and I averaged 7.7 miles with going 70, well, the speed limit, 70 when possible, but the speed limit. And I was pretty happy with 7.7 considering I had 44,100 pounds on the back. I was doing 70 miles an hour, and I came out of Gulfport, Mississippi back to Minnesota. And if you guys know that route, it's mostly U.S. highways. You catch 55 from Jackson, Mississippi up to St. Louis. And the rest of it, you know, other than that one like 400-mile stretch there, the rest of it is U.S. highways, you know, U.S. 49, U.S. 61, U.S. 218. So this truck, the fuel economy's pretty good on it. So to drop down and run 58 mile an hour, it's not there for me. It takes too much out of it takes too much out of my hours of service for me to run that slow. So, For the companies, like certain companies I know of, they tell their drivers run 58 because you'll get there at the same time. And I'm like, no, math is a thing. If I run 65 versus 58 all day, that's 7 mile an hour difference on a 10-hour day. That's 70 miles. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? So let's go over the variable cost real quick. 1,025 in diesel. Been having some really good weeks on diesel, but this week, I should have said this at the beginning of the video. This week is from the third week of June, so diesel prices are going up on me from throughout. So probably going to be more diesel bought here in the next couple weeks because I've been coming home on empty because there's just no good fuel stops on the way into Minnesota. I'd rather get it going out so I can get that Illinois ifta and whatnot. I don't know. Go watch my Bambi video to watch explain ifta to you. 175 in reefer fuel, 52 in def, $9 in tolls, 0 scales, 0 parking, 1261. Yes, 1261 variable cost. Bring down my 4320. Subtract out the 1261, and that leaves me $3,059 left to do what I have to do with. So it's not bad. Keep in mind this is not a full 7-day week, pulling that number. So if you squeeze these through the month, you can get an extra one in. So it's like a 5-day or a 5-week month, basically, because these are shorter loads. So the 3059, a little low for a week, but it ain't really a full week. So I'm okay with that. I can live with it. I get by. But that's the weekly recap, everybody. I do appreciate you watching so much. Hit that like button for me. Whew, I got the dirty thumb today. I've been out there messing with tires. So take care of each other out there. Remember, people are more important than trucking. And don't get distracted by the squirrels. Hi, I want to talk to you real quick about the ES Advantage card. Do you need discounts at major truck stop chains? They got them. Do you need discount on shop rates at TA and Love's? They got them. Tire discounts. They even got health insurance now. Click the link down below. Easy application, no credit check. Sign up. They give you a call back, take all your information, and you'll be in the network. Do you need to save money by not idling your truck? Of course you do. That's why I'm introducing you to Zero Breeze today. Zero Breeze, a lightweight portable air conditioner that makes 5,280 BTUs of cooling power. Yes, you need this if you idle your truck overnight to stay cool. Yes, this will save you tons of money. Use my link below when you order, and I appreciate it.